I had said that if they try to make the Charlie Kirk so-called assassin trial secretive, then you know for sure the official story is not true. This is bad. This is real bad. Even mainstream media is calling this one of the most secretive trials in history. The judge is making everything secret.
Things just took a crazy turn. Word on the streets is that Dave Chappelle dropped a total bombshell, saying the FBI actually arrested Candace Owens for digging too deep into the Charlie Kirk case. What? According to Dave, the very same court handling the Kirk trial hit her with a gag order to keep certain secrets under wraps. But Candace? She blew that door wide open. And now Chappelle claims the feds swooped in, locking her up for supposedly interfering with an active investigation. This is wild. But it gets even deeper. For more than a week, Candace has been completely missing. No shows, no posts, nothing. Fans are freaking out, wondering where she vanished to. Some say it's not a coincidence at all, that this could be a calculated move to shut her down after she started calling out the FBI for allegedly covering up crucial info about what really went down with Charlie Kirk. And let's be real, Candace has never been one to play it safe. She's loud, bold, and unafraid to speak her mind, no matter who gets uncomfortable. She's been saying things that some powerful people clearly don't want public. So now everyone's asking, did the FBI actually try to silence her, or is there something darker and dirtier going on behind those closed doors? Ever since Charlie Kirk's assassination, Candace has been like a storm that won't quit. She's been connecting dots, dropping receipts, and exposing details that left people's jaws on the floor. Every time she opens her mouth, the internet goes up in flames. She's been warning that this story runs way deeper than the media's letting on. And every new clue she uncovers makes things even more explosive.
And if you look at these trans terrorists, it's really important to sort of get to the bottom of it, excavate exactly what happened. So there was some reports after Charlie Kirk's assassination that there was prior knowledge of what was going to happen, that there were people in chats talking about, hey, something really big is going to happen. Not just big happen, it's going to happen to Charlie Kirk tomorrow. Conspiracy, at least prior knowledge. People who knew that he was going to be shot.
Candace didn't hold back one bit. She came for everybody. The FBI, Turning Point America, and even hinted there's foreign intelligence tied to the whole mess. Just hours after the shooting, when the FBI proudly announced their primary suspect, Tyler Robinson, supposedly turned in by his own dad after seeing his face blasted on TV, Candace jumped on it immediately. She called out their story as sloppy, fake, and full of holes. She said, "This isn't justice. This is theater." Her breakdown of the FBI's so-called evidence blew social media up. Candace ripped their official report apart, piece by piece. First, she dragged them for releasing grainy, low-quality footage that looked like it came from a flip phone, even though Utah Valley University, where it all happened, has over 1,200 upgraded HD security cameras. She went off saying, "You really expect us to believe that's the best footage you've got?" People were shocked. Then she dropped another bomb, saying the FBI framed Tyler Robinson just to close the case fast. On her social media, she said the whole confession story was a lie, totally made up to fit their timeline. She even claimed the part about his dad turning him in was straight fiction. She said, nothing about their timeline adds up. Not the witnesses, not the evidence, nothing. Candace wasn't just questioning their story, she was shredding their entire narrative, and she didn't stop there. Candace made it crystal clear that Tyler Robinson swears he's innocent, and she believes him.
A ton of cameras on this campus. There is a lot of footage that they could release to make the public feel better about this. I mean, tons of different angles. I don't know why we're getting grainy shots at all. There have been tons of people online going through the tech stack of UVU campus and saying like, hey, why are we getting grainy? Why don't you give us clearer images? In fact, you guys could show us an image here, 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 here. They're not doing that. They're just going with this like grainy image and saying that's it, and you can get this grainy image, but we can't tell you much more. Now again, it's an open investigation.
He said from day one he's never even been on that campus. The wild part, Utah Valley University has no record, no photos, no footage, no logs showing him anywhere near the scene. The only proof the FBI is holding on to is that same blurry, shadowy image that even Tyler's own family says doesn't look like him. Candace reminded everyone, Tyler's never shown a single sign of being suicidal, at least not once. Then she hit hard, saying, the federal government's lying about everything except the fact that it's his gun. That line shook people, but she didn't back down. She doubled down. She accused the FBI of hiding the truth about who the real shooter was and who that shooter might have been working with. According to her, they already know the truth but are keeping it buried to protect some seriously powerful people in high places. And then came the claim that sent the internet into meltdown. Candace said Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone inside Turning Point, someone he trusted, who allegedly leaked his location to a foreign intelligence group that wanted him eliminated. She said this wasn't random or impulsive, it was planned. It was about money, control, and global influence. Then she hit fans with an even bigger shocker, claiming that just days before the shooting, Charlie had turned down a massive $150 million donation from a company linked to the Israeli Prime Minister. According to Candace, the money came with heavy strings attached.
But I want to take the start of this show to address some of the things that have been going around on public, namely about a group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic. And I want to go into it because I actually am really excited that the truth is out there.
Designed to keep Charlie loyal and pushing their political agenda. But Charlie had reportedly grown tired of being a pawn, tired of selling messages he didn't stand behind anymore. And when he refused that offer, he became a threat, a problem worth silencing. That's intense. Once those claims dropped, social media exploded. Twitter, Reddit, Telegram, everyone was talking. People started digging up old interviews, campaign donations, and leaked Turning Point documents, trying to see if Candace was really onto something or just stirring chaos. But what folks found only made the story more suspicious. Candace even pointed out that the foreign intelligence network wasn't hiding. It was right in front of us. She claimed there were direct links between some Turning Point donors and international consulting firms with ties to the Israeli government. Then she posted screenshots, public filings, tax documents, donations that didn't line up with Turning Point's reported financials. She said, follow the money, that's where the truth's hiding. And once she said that, people did. Within hours, online detectives were connecting dots everywhere. Donation trails, business records, political links. Reddit threads blew up, Telegram groups were on fire, and conspiracy channels couldn't keep up. The names being thrown around were huge. Think million-dollar contractors, defense firms, and global lobbying giants. So now this whole case isn't just about Charlie Kirk anymore. It's about how deep this rabbit hole really goes.
I had said that if they try to make the Charlie Kirk so-called assassin trial secretive, then you know for sure the official story is not true. This is bad. This is real bad. Even mainstream media is calling this one of the most secretive trials in history. The judge is making everything secret with gag orders, including the police reports and 3,000 witnesses, associates, or anyone that knew Charlie Kirk. They're saying effectively any talk show host that knew him or talked to him is under a gag order.
Candace Owens may have uncovered something way bigger than anyone expected, and if what Dave Chappelle said is true and that the FBI actually moved in on her for spilling too much, then this might be the most explosive twist yet. Something major is happening and everyone's waiting to see what comes next. Then Candace went even deeper, and what she revealed had everyone's heads spinning. She claimed Charlie Kirk himself had started noticing strange, unsettling things months before his tragic end. According to her, he told close friends he felt like he was being followed, that his calls, emails, even his private messages were being watched. He reportedly started using 2 separate phones, switching hotels last minute, and changing his travel routes like he was in a spy movie. Sometimes he wouldn't even tell his own staff where he was going until the very last second. Candace said that's when things between Charlie and Turning Point leadership really started breaking down. She put it bluntly. Charlie wanted out, but they wouldn't let him walk away clean. According to her, he was tangled up with too many powerful people who depended on him to keep their grip on young conservative audiences. He wasn't just a person anymore. He was a product, a brand, a megaphone for influence. And the second he started questioning that system, it sent shockwaves behind the scenes.
And if you look at these trans terrorists, it's really important to sort of get to the bottom of it, excavate exactly what happened. So there was some reports after Charlie Kirk's assassination that there was prior knowledge of what was going to happen, that there were people in chats talking about, hey, something really big is going to happen. Not just big happen, it's going to happen to Charlie Kirk tomorrow. Conspiracy, at least prior knowledge. people who knew that he was going to be shot.
Candace claimed insiders told her that Charlie's sudden shift in tone from proud patriot to cautious skeptic terrified his biggest donors. That change didn't just rattle them, it threatened them. Then she dropped what might be her boldest claim yet, that just 3 days before the shooting, Charlie had a private meeting with a Turning Point executive and a mysterious liaison connected to an Israeli-based donor. According to her, that meeting went south fast. Allegedly, Charlie refused to back a massive fundraising campaign that tied directly to Israeli defense interests. And Candace says she even saw messages from Charlie's inner circle hinting he told someone close to him, "They're not going to like what I have to say next." That quote alone sent chills through social media. The very next morning, Charlie reportedly canceled several public appearances, telling his assistant he needed a break from the circus. Less than 3 days later, he was gone, shot at Utah Valley University. The timing, Candace said, was way too precise to be coincidence. "This wasn't random," she said. "This was organized." And that's when things started spiraling out of control. As soon as Candace started speaking out, her show went silent, her social media vanished, and whispers started spreading that she'd been taken by the feds. When Dave Chappelle later mentioned her supposed arrest, the internet exploded.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell. Where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you...
Fans instantly connected her final post, especially that chilling one where she wrote, "If anything happens to me, I left everything with people I trust," to what was happening now. Many believe that post was her warning, her way of saying she knew eyes were on her and she had already set up protection in case things went sideways. Meanwhile, Turning Point's official statement only made things worse. Instead of addressing her claims, they posted a short, robotic message about respecting the investigation and avoiding misinformation. But it didn't sound human. It sounded scripted, detached, cold, and people noticed. The internet tore it apart, calling it damage control and saying the organization looked way too calm for a group that just lost its founder. The more they tried to quiet the noise, the louder it got. Then came the biggest twist yet. Reports surfaced that Candace's team had leaked info about her holding receipts. Word spread that she had encrypted files proving communication between top Turning Point execs and foreign donors. One of her alleged associates even told independent journalists that Candace had been planning to reveal everything in a special broadcast just before she vanished. That revelation sent shockwaves across every platform, and if that's true, then someone didn't just silence her, they stopped her right before she could expose the truth. Fans started tearing through her Telegram messages, screenshots, and old tweets looking for hidden clues. Some noticed posts she liked just hours before disappearing, all about foreign cash controlling conservative media and digital blackmail networks. Many believe she was leaving breadcrumbs for people to find if anything happened to her. Then Dave Chappelle's name got dragged into it, and that's when things got insane. He's known for speaking his mind, but no one expected him to be the one dropping the hammer. During what was supposed to be a small private show, he reportedly said, "They didn't just arrest her for breaking a gag order. They arrested her because she was about to drop something they couldn't afford to have out there." That single quote spread across every social platform in hours. It went viral like wildfire. Within a day, #FreeCandace was trending everywhere. Fans were demanding answers. Where was she? Why wasn't anyone from her crew speaking up? Why hadn't the FBI said a single word? The silence was deafening, and that only fueled suspicions even more. By midweek, even mainstream outlets couldn't ignore it anymore. Some tried to call it social media confusion, but others cautiously hinted at an ongoing federal issue involving Candace's actions. Still, no one could explain where she was or why her accounts had gone dark, but her followers weren't falling for the misinformation excuse. They believe this goes way beyond a gag order, that it's about power, control, and shutting down voices who refuse to play the game. Even people who once doubted her started to admit something felt off. The timing, the silence, the fear, it all lined up too perfectly. Rumors even say that Candace sent copies of her files to journalists overseas, possibly in Europe, before everything went down. If those files ever see daylight, this entire story could flip on its head. Until then, everyone's watching, waiting, and praying that the truth she fought to expose somehow still comes out, because at this point, it's not just about one woman standing up to authority, it's about what happens when someone uncovers secrets powerful people would rather keep buried. And now the world's asking the same burning question. Just how far are they willing to go to keep this under wraps? Then, almost as if the universe itself was confirming everything she warned about, Charlie's story took that dark, irreversible turn. He was shot, and suddenly all her claims didn't sound like wild theories anymore. They sounded like warnings. Fans started connecting dots like detectives, and this time everything seemed to add up. Candace even posted one final screenshot before going missing, a private text exchange between Charlie and someone deep inside Turning Point America, and that's when the internet lost it. At first, people thought that screenshot was just another wild internet rumor, until things got real. Josh Hammer, a verified Turning Point staffer, stepped in and confirmed it was legit. He admitted he was the one texting Charlie in that exact conversation. The second he confirmed it, boom, the internet exploded. Suddenly, everyone became an investigator, digging through his old tweets, interviews, and photos like digital detectives, and what they uncovered had people's jaws on the floor. Just a few scrolls down his timeline, buried in the middle of random posts, was something that sent shivers down everyone's spine. An old tweet from Josh posted less than a day before Charlie was shot. It was a reply to a 12-year-old Donald Trump tweet that said, "Should be public execution for all to see. You will end this bullshit fast." And Josh's reply? Just two haunting words: public execution. That post resurfaced like a ghost, and the timing was too wild to ignore. When people connected that tweet to the leaked text showing Charlie frustrated about being pressured into pushing a pro-Israel stance, the alarms went off everywhere. Comment sections lit up with disbelief, calling it the biggest red flag yet. Suddenly, Candace's theory that someone from inside Turning Point had betrayed Charlie didn't sound crazy anymore. It sounded real. People started saying this wasn't just bad timing, it was a pattern. Online forums blew up with theories that Charlie had been sold out to a foreign intelligence group after refusing to play along with their agenda. And once that Trump reply resurfaced, it wasn't just random fans talking. Even ex-Turning Point insiders started whispering that something deeply wrong had been happening inside that organization. Then things got darker because the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, finally went to trial. But it's no normal trial. It's one of the most secretive cases in recent memory. Reporters can't get in, spectators are locked out, and even lawyers are walking on eggshells. Every leaked document is so heavily blacked out it might as well be invisible. The judge even put a total gag order on everyone: attorneys, witnesses, families. Complete silence. But you already know Candace Owens wasn't going to sit back and play quiet. She said straight up, freedom of speech doesn't stop when the truth gets uncomfortable, and blasted the idea of silencing the public with secret trials. She told her followers, "You don't get to hide the truth just because it's messy." And that's when things took a serious turn, because right after saying that, she disappeared. Her show went off the air, no new uploads, no social posts, nothing. Fans were panicking. Her last message before going dark shook the internet to its core. "Don't worry about the gag order in the Charlie Kirk case. I plan to violate it on the world's behalf. The things I've discovered this past week are enough to burn the house down." Yes, Charlie was betrayed by everyone. That single post broke the internet. It was like a digital warning flare shot straight into the sky. Of course, the backlash came fast. The media pounced on her instantly, dragging her for being reckless and spreading misinformation. Major outlets ran headlines claiming she was jeopardizing an active investigation. Even conservative commentator Dinesh D'Souza jumped in, saying she was doing more harm than good. He told his followers, "There's a difference between uncovering the truth and feeding chaos." But Candace's fans weren't having it. They saw her as one of the few people brave enough to risk everything for transparency. Before people could even catch their breath from that chaos, Dave Chappelle dropped another bombshell. During a live show, he allegedly told the audience the FBI had arrested Candace Owens for breaking that same gag order she swore to defy. The crowd went silent. Like total pin drop energy, Dave said the feds didn't find her or warn her. They went straight for jail time. And according to him, the arrest wasn't about justice. It was about silencing her completely. And that's when everything went absolutely insane. Because if what Dave said is true and Candace's disappearance really lines up with it, then what we're watching might not just be a scandal, it might be a cover-up happening in real time. Fans started demanding answers while the FBI stayed silent, and that silence made it all look even sketchier. Now here's where things twist into something straight out of a political thriller. Multiple insider reports claim Dave Chappelle truly believes this whole move against Candace has the backing of some serious political power, possibly even former President Trump himself. Yeah, you heard that right. Allegedly, Trump's been quietly following the Charlie Kirk case since day one, personally asking for updates because he actually knew Charlie and wanted justice served. But that's where the story splits, because others say Trump's name being tied to this might mean something totally different. Some think the arrest of Candace Owens isn't about justice or national security at all. I mean, it's about control. Could this be about silencing her before she exposes something way too dangerous to go public? Because Candace didn't just drop random claims, she dropped receipts. She's been posting for months about alleged links between Charlie's death and foreign intelligence networks, things that, if true, would rock the government to its core. And if she really had proof of that, it's the kind of evidence the FBI would never want exposed, especially if it tied back to any major ally. So maybe this arrest rumor isn't about law and order. Maybe it's about shutting her up before she pulls the pin on a political grenade. But Candace is no rookie. She's been saying for weeks that she planned ahead. She talked about having a kill switch, a digital backup ready to automatically drop everything she's uncovered if anyone tries to silence or detain her. And now people online are wondering, did that kill switch already go live? According to alleged insiders, that system could contain encrypted files, documents, messages, maybe even audio that expose communication between high-level officials and the same foreign group she's been warning about. If that's true, what she's sitting on might not just shake politics, it could shake the whole country. And man, the internet is going crazy. Comment sections everywhere are blowing up with theories, prayers, and panic. Fans are writing, "Protect Candace at all costs," and they're scared of what she's got. One viral comment said, "Whenever the government's involved, there's 99% lies and 1% truth, and that 1% will get you silenced." Another wrote, "Charlie didn't die by chance. He was betrayed by his own people." The energy online is electric. Now people are split. Half say Candace went too far and broke federal law, and the other half thinks she's being taken down for exposing what the powerful don't want us to know. So what's really going on here? Is the FBI truly planning to arrest Candace Owens for interfering with their investigation? Or are we watching something darker unfold behind closed doors? Because if Dave Chappelle's claims are true, this might be bigger than anyone realizes. Let me know what you think. Is this about justice or censorship? Drop your thoughts down below. And if you made it to the end, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, share this video, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next update, because this story is far from over.